What's going on, everybody? I figured we would talk about the rumors for Avengers Doomsday, just get it off to an early start. And yeah, we'll do that. So let's get into it. Let me check out the old Doomsday stuff and we'll go into it. Here we go. So actually, I think we can actually recap a lot of it. So January 1st is the first post, I believe, where I was talking about Sylvie and how she'd be returning to the set of Doomsday. Her actress, I can't remember her name. Is it Sophia? She posted the picture saying like back at work, and then it said playgrounds, and it was an Instagram post. Stopping by, say, "What's up, dude? What's up? How you doing?" Next up, we had Monica, who said, pretty much my friend Josiah put a thing, said Monica is returning in Avengers Doomsday. Tayona Paris recently posted this video on her Instagram showcasing her wig line. And that was true. I remember her talking about, she said, like, I can't save everybody right now, but I can sure save this hair or something like that. She pulled up the Monica wig. And that was a whole post on it. Our Jean Grey and Storm and Doomsday. I don't know how many times you guys are going to ask me that stuff, guys. Like, then we knew something about an X-Mansion fight, which was talking about the Fantastic Four versus Nightcrawler, which apparently was part of the thing where it showed in that teaser, and Nightcrawler apparently comes in and fights Mr. Fantastic and whatnot during that scene. That's when he said he hurt Pedro Pascal during that scene, which is wild to me. Next up, Beyond the Reporter actually said Elizabeth Olsen to play some version of Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday, which to me would be crazy. The fact to have Wanda being one of the ones under the mask, we know now after those whole pictures and whatnot that there's going to be multiple Doctor Dooms, which would be really cool to have, Wanda, Jean Grey, maybe Clea, maybe a couple, maybe even Doctor Strange be one of those people that comes out from underneath the mask. James Mack actually said a couple weeks ago that there was also a green buffed out Doctor Doom. So I'm assuming maybe that's Maestro under the suit. We don't know. Maybe Scar. Ana de Armas, a mutant in Avengers Doomsday. I don't know how well I feel about that. And it also, Beyond the Reporter also hinted a while ago about Black Swan. So I guess we'll see. We'll wait on that one. Peggy Carter. Haley Atwell will have an important role in Avengers Doomsday. Now, this did not come originally from Beyond the Reporter, but they also did report on that. So I just copy and paste and save that. Apparently, Cameron Welch said that possibly Captain Carter is going to be fighting Steve Rogers, which is wild. What's up, Nate? How you doing? What's up, Tyzul? How are you doing? The Raft was another one. So let me click on this one. According to insiders, Casey takes people during the last incursion to the quantum realm to avoid it being destroyed. I'm also assuming that's the ship that crashes on Battleworld at the end after Doom wins. Now, this came from Majestic and James Mack. So, putting that in the little rumor mill in the receipts, just keeping everything in the receipts as we go. That way, when we come back and this is all said and done, we can go back and check everything. Morgan returning for Avengers Doomsday. So this one came from Beyond the Reporter. I don't know how true this is. How you doing today, Nate? Hope your morning's going well. Catherine Langford will play Morgan Stark in Avengers Doomsday, but he also said take it with a grain of salt. I could see this. I actually saw a rumor today stating that what if she is Valeria? How crazy would that be? So obviously, like, looking like Morgan Stark, but being Valeria, so Doctor Doom's daughter, quote unquote. He got a short showing a t-shirt with all the characters in Doomsday. Check it out and see if they're in there. What are you talking about, Semyon? Wait, who did characters? Oh, Daredevil. For some reason I thought it said Doomsday. Wait, is it Doomsday? Or are you talking about Daredevil? I'm confused what you're talking about. Next up, James Mack said Star-Lord We're going to see the Star Goat twice this year in Vision Quest and Avengers Doomsday, which I feel like we knew because of the concept art. It actually shows him sitting on the couch with Vision in the concept art. Hey, Geeky, how are you? Love you and your content. I appreciate it very much, Vivek. Hope you're doing well today. Hope today's a great day. Early start to the Sunday. And for everybody else, I don't know where everybody else is in the world, but hope you all have a great day so far. Who's got a shirt showing? What are you talking about, Semyon? What shirt do you mean? Pepper in Avengers Doomsday, but I am not giving RPK credit. Gwyneth Paltrow will reportedly return as Pepper Potts. Now, see, for me, I'm wondering if they're going to put on Doom's throne, have her be the person, because people are saying, oh, Sue and Franklin, but what if it's Pepper and Morgan? How crazy would that be? No, I know. What shirt are you talking about, though? And then James Mack went on to say Angel and Colossus, which was the Days of Future or Days of Future? No, Apocalypse Angel and X-Men 3, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, Colossus is the one he posted. And then James Max said, sorry to say this, but there is no romance between Bob and Yelena. It's more of a sister-brother bond. It's strictly that. And in fact, Bob is going to lose it when Yelena is in a specific moment of danger, which I'm assuming is when she's getting mollywopped by Mystique, which see that coming out. Next one, Shang-Chi on a Sentinel. Divinity Seeker actually said Shang-Chi fans will be eating hard in Avengers Doomsday. He'll be riding a Sentinel into the final battle of the film, which is crazy because we don't know if it's in the Void or the TVA yet, but that still sounds crazy. RDJ gets credit for Pepper. He said right after Endgame, if I ever came back. Oh, well, that's something I got to look up to write down the receipts, but thank you very much, Nate. I totally forgot about that. It was an interview, wasn't it? Doom will not be explained in Avengers Doomsday. This is coming from Roca and Snyder. No, it's Campia. He said Avengers Doomsday will not explain why Doctor Doom looks like Tony Stark. The explanation will reportedly come in Secret Wars. And remember, he did like a little like pause where he was thinking about it, and he's like, I'm trying to think about how to say this, but and then he went to say Secret Wars. I do remember that. Magneto, death. According to Meppy, so once again, grain of salt, Magneto and Doctor Doom will have a big fight. Magneto tries to control Sentinels and remove Doctor Doom metallic suit parts, as that is what's keeping him alive, but fails and dies. That's kind of cool. I saw a short on you covering all the characters and variants of Doctor Doom. I was just telling. Oh yeah, that was a bag, I believe, but that was only the main cast. So the thing is, cameos are obviously different. We know that, but for main cast, yeah, Jean and Storm are not in there. But sorry, a little confused early on in the morning still. X-Men versus the Fantastic Four. The Thing and Colossus will fight each other. This came from Majestic. Once again, take with a grain of salt. Doom followers. Doctor Doom is reportedly set to have multiple masked sidekicks in Avengers Doomsday. The sidekicks will include both men and women. It's currently unclear whether they are loyal followers or alternate variants of Doctor Doom. Source, Daniel RPK. Pretty cool. The machine that destroys worlds. If I remember correctly, a while ago, Task, the old nerdy whatever, the weird guy on the other app, was posting something, and it was Namor holding up the device that destroys worlds, which I talked about this, I think, a year ago, actually. And James Max says he's going to literally use this, which makes sense. We literally kind of get a hint with the whole temple that we see in the teaser. What about Doctor Strange? From my understanding, Alex from Cosmic Circus and a couple others say that he's actually going to meet up with Doom later on. He's going to be doing his own thing with Clea, but it's not going to be shown till like later on in the film. So we don't know, if he's part of the Black Swans or what's not. Biggest mystery from Doomsday is Doctor Strange. No leaks have come about him, and he is the one who should be lead in. Yeah, he should be the lead. It makes a lot of sense to have him the lead. Sorry. Hard to do this early. Loki is going to visit Steve and Peggy at their house. My time to shine. And that makes sense. I feel like he's the warning. I feel like that's toward the beginning of the film. James Mack. 50% in Avengers Doomsday, the entire plot and character structure will mirror Infinity War, where there was the Steve Rogers and Stark core. But there was also Thor's separate storyline in Doomsday, the separate core that eventually comes together at the end in Strange and Clea's. That's it right there. That was James Mack. This is one to keep note of. Majestic said March 26th, possible second share announcement. Now, I don't think that's true at all, but keep the note. Keep the note. Plot point. I would love to see in Deadpool 4. What's up, Baby Rex? What plot point? Christmas lights in a store and corporate TVA agents are everywhere, and Deadpool is fighting them. Oh, okay. I didn't read the first part. Okay, that makes sense. And he gets Gambit because of TVA. That'd be kind of cool. Majestic said there's a new TV spot of teasers, Thunderbolts, Avengers, TVA, Doom. That was a lie. So let's actually, you know what? What I can do is I can mark that one as a red X. So let's go to red X. Where is a red X? There we go. So that's wrong. So that counts. Okay. So the next one I think is kind of cool is People Magazine has actually said that Vanessa Kirby says filming Avengers Doomsday while pregnant has been the coolest thing. Obviously, we know there's going to be some flashback scenes, but it's also hinting that Valeria is going to be in the film. Once again, I think that it makes sense to have Valeria. I don't know why you wouldn't have her. It's like it's a no-brainer, and she's important in Secret Wars. My man Toby is in Doomsday interacting with Sam Wilson. Oh, that, but I don't know about that one. Carol messes up, and apparently in Avengers Doomsday is what who quoted that one? James Mack, when they said who has the crash out in this film. And then per why Doom uses the void, James Mack says, I didn't mean motivation like Cassandra's. I was just an example for people who haven't read Secret Wars 2015. Doom will turn the void into his own world where he is God, where everyone serves him, everyone fears him, except a few. Yeah. When a certain group of heroes created by Loki shows up, you know some of them, which is obviously Toby, Deadpool, Wolverine, and we don't know the other ones. Maybe like Ghost Rider, yada yada, so on and so forth. I don't know if he's in the opening. Apparently, everything keeps changing, so we don't really know. We do know that Toby and Hugh are going to fight, but we don't know what part of the film that's going to be on. Oh, and here's the claims by Majestic. Ready for this? These are the characters. Black Swan, Yabat Umanturo, which is the main Black Swan. Kang the Conqueror, which I don't think is in this film at all. Quicksilver, Evan Peters. Thanos, which is not new. Second part, he said the Watcher, which I don't think will show up. Death, I don't think will show up. Black Knight, I don't think will show up. The Living Tribunal, I don't think will show up. Next one, Ghost Rider, yes. Captain Britain, I don't think so. Mephisto, I don't think so. Eternity, no. Love is eternity, so that doesn't make any sense. And then he put Speed on there, which we know Speed will be in there. So is Toby with Ryan Reynolds, and apparently through the second half of the film. So I don't know how much Toby appears in the beginning, but in the second half, apparently. That'd be pretty cool if they reenact that cover. That cover would be cool. The zero chances on the Tom Cruise Iron Man is what he said. And then he said that Reed Richards, his powers and his stretchiness and his body, it's going to be showing more in this one. So he's going to be doing a lot more. Cyclops survival, he said, which I feel like we already knew that. The rumor for a long time was it was Cyclops and Wolverine that are the two survivors, and that came from James Mack. That's what the Cyclops thing was. And the Majestic said Superior Iron Man, which once again, um, James Max says no Riri Williams, which I figure we all could assume that. Majestic said Gwen Stacy will be there, and that's how Andrews. Honestly, anything at that point being said, I would just, because a lot of the stuff that Majestic says is his theories and whatnot. So I would just, you know, I would just calm down a little bit on that. Just a little. Here's the line. Bring it down here. Secret Wars, evil variants was what they were saying, which was like Captain Hydra and stuff. I mean, it's possible, but at the same time, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe they're on their own part of the world. How exactly does Brand New Day tie into Doomsday? I don't know. I'm assuming the incursion at the end is the whole big rumor that everybody's been saying for a long time. Obviously, Peter's going to get teleported and go to wherever he's going, but obviously, I don't think it's going to tie directly in. Like, it will tie directly in, but I don't think it's like, he's going to appear there at the end. I feel like he's going to appear at the beginning of Secret Wars. I feel like how they'll go. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that one. That picture, I don't know if you guys saw that picture of the person walking up to the steps. I think that honestly might be Doom. I don't think that's Steve Rogers. I mean, we get Steve Rogers on the bike and whatnot, but I think the one walking to the door, if you guys remember, the original leak we got was someone walking to the door, and it was in a green suit, and he had the briefcase. As My Time to Shine said right here, Doomsday Rumor, we might see Steve versus Peggy. Nerd Erotic Toby versus X-Men, which I don't know if he's trolling. And then here's the Doom one I was talking about. There is indeed a group of several Dooms in Avengers Doomsday, but I don't know if it's a cult of characters masked as Doom or actual Doom variants. Besides the female versions that leaked, there's also a big muscular Doom. He looked like a masked Hulk, but I can't say for sure. That's the one that I think might be the Maestro one. I hope they do split Secret Wars, honestly. It needs to be longer. I don't think it makes enough sense to just have it 2 movies, but that's just me. Brand New Day, I mean, what do you want to know? I mean, Silhouette, yeah. And then if I remember, see, and this is where I think Meppy doesn't know what he's talking about, because he said, guess who gets off and causes the X-Men to despise the Avengers? And he posted a picture of Jean, and I put Professor X, and he put question mark. I'm like, bro, you don't know. Hugh versus Toby. Then I was reached out with the whole Toby getting saved by the TVA, so not by Loki. So we'll see how that works. Let's see. And then you got the guy, I don't even know his name, Gestos, who never said they're followers of Doom. Here's one of them, and it was a picture of Sylvie. We already kind of knew that Sylvie would be helping Doom, but not on purpose. It'd be more of like a manipulation tactic for him to get Loki back, and that would work against Sylvie. And then Alex stated no Toby versus Hugh at the beginning. So and then you have Meppy, who says all Doctor Doom's followers were rescued by Doctor Doom. They all are victims by incursions. James Mack. It looks like Shiri gives Bucky the same triangular claw shields that Steve used in Infinity War. But why? Why would Bucky use those? Do you see what I mean? Like, you see how weird it sounds? The opening of Brand New Day is apparently a montage, and it's him fighting a bunch of different villains like Boomerang, Ramrod, all those characters. If Doctor Doom and Loki show up with Steve, who do you think he trusts? That's a crazy one, because yeah, you would think he would trust Doom, but if Doom's going to be wearing a mask, unless it's like a behind the scene kind of like where we see his back only, maybe. And yeah, Loki's a villain, so it's going to be hard for him to just decide. But like, I feel like Loki's going to appear first, and then Doom is going to be like, knock, knock, knock. Is he gone? Something like those lines, knowing of the existence of Loki. That'd be sick. Not necessarily filler. I would just think that it'd be a longer two-part. Like, ever play God of War like 2? Like how it kind of goes right into 3 like that. Like it's cut off midway. Are they seeing Julia Butters? I don't know who that is, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, if anything, Secret Wars Part 2 could be a lot of recapping stuff and then or no, sorry, Secret Wars Part 1 could be a lot of recapping stuff and then pushing towards like the middle of the film. It could be that. That's what I feel like too. Bucky and Scott. Oh, my headphone turned off. Bucky and Scott are goners. Daniel RPK says that Brand New Day is apparently the mix of grand and grounded. What does he mean? Grand? Like multiverse? Just a mixture of stuff. I mean, it's not going to be a grounded film. Spider-Man's literally teaming up with the Hulk, the Punisher, all these other characters. Well, the thing is, there's definitely going to be somebody with Doom because you got to remember when Robert Downey Jr. came out on the set, there was a bunch of Dooms, but they could be Doom bots. Yeah, anything Raimi, I'm golden on. Then they better drop the second part of Secret Wars. Why is that? I feel like they should still do 2028 December, but I think they should put other movies in between, like a Doctor Strange or something. I feel like something else needs to be tied in. I mean, yeah, it could be Nate. It could be like Ant Man and the Wasp too. It could be like that. Well, accordingly from Alex, Peter Parker is losing himself in the Spider-Man role, and he's not really playing Peter Parker at all. I mean, he clearly is not dependent because Punisher saves him. We literally hear it in the trailer. So you're never going to have a time where Spider-Man's going to be by himself. It's just not going to happen in the MCU. They won't do it. And then oh no, that's not my time. That's Vambi. Avengers Doomsday will have one of the most scariest. I can't stop yawning. I'm sorry. We'll have one of the most scariest scenes in the whole MCU. Doom is involved. I don't know what that means. Rumor. Now, this is where like Majestic goes off the rail. Rumor has it that Vanessa Kirby will be playing Sue Storm on the main Earth and a variant from another Earth named Valeria. This Valeria will be sent by the TVA to Earth 828, where she will meet Victor Von Doom. They will fall in love. Now, see, he's implying the Valeria that Doom gives up to essentially get his armor or his powers. I can't remember when he goes down and he does the deal with Mephisto, but that wouldn't make sense for her to look like Sue. Like it doesn't work. In Snyder, which I think most of us already knew that Wonder Man will appear in Doomsday. We already kind of knew that because they're building up the West Coast Avengers. The big role for Sentry, though, I'm excited for. I'm gonna be honest with you. And Magneto. What do you think about Reed being the lead in upcoming movies? Honestly, his character ain't connected. I don't like Peter Pascal. So to me, it doesn't work. He's not a lead character. He doesn't work well. He just doesn't. And I can't see Robert Downey Jr. giving him the time of day. He's just not a good actor. Sony needs to lock in because they haven't released a trailer. King Spike says the trailer is ready, but a date hasn't been confirmed. Well, yeah, it's not going to be confirmed right away because the thing is this. The original trailer was leaked. It wasn't put out on purpose. So, I mean, probably was a tactic, but it wasn't put out on purpose. So I wouldn't expect it before CinemaCon. And if it does come out or with Spider-Verse, and that's cool, but I really don't see it before like April because you got to remember, we got to tie in Daredevil and we got to tie in Punisher. And I believe Punisher is in March. Something like that? I don't remember, but something like that. Yeah, I don't think well, okay, let's be fair. If it's a Raimi movie, I want Spider-Man by himself. But if it's not a Raimi movie, I would like Spider-Man to be with himself or with other people because it just works better. It just the characteristics and the characters together. I don't get why people constantly say like Spider-Man shouldn't work with people when you watch Avengers shows and stuff and they're always together. I don't know. From the rumors that were going around, Florence Pugh's role was she's trying to recruit people. I don't know if it's the Punisher or if it's Spider-Man, but apparently Sam Wilson and some other characters come and try to recruit as well. I'm assuming that's who tries to talk to Peter, and then Florence tries to talk with the Punisher. She's got to not have a big role because it just doesn't make any sense for her to have a very large role as it is. Now here's Steve details. Steve Rogers wields Mjolnir without his shield, appears throughout the film. Well, because he doesn't have the shield until he comes back. Steve uses a cracked Mjolnir. He later retrieves Mjolnir from Thor, though he doesn't have it at first. What? Wait. Steve uses a cracked Mjolnir. Oh, because of the one from Love and Thunder. Steve's son is older, now a teenager. That was the whole rumor. I remember that, saying that he's possibly going to be the new Captain America after Secret Wars. Steve doesn't trust Doctor Doom from the start, obviously. This leads to multiple confrontations with Doom. Ew. I don't know why I'm so tired. Character interactions. Steve and Bucky, Steve and Sam, and Steve and Scott Lang. Oh, Majestics. Pedro is not a great actor. Stop it right now, Nate. Stop it or you're going to get put in timeout. Will we see Thunderbolts versus Avengers? There's probably going to be a scuffle, I would assume. You know, I don't see them really fighting because they don't hate each other, where the X-Men fight's going to be the big fight. What is the tone of Brand New Day going to be like? Daniel RPK says it's apparently darker than the home trilogy. That is true. Well, yeah, because Peter's going through, like, he's all alone. He's by himself, you know, with the wish and everything. No one knows who he is. And he's just living the Spider-Man life. He's building up his suit, changing it. Like Alex said during the montage, we're going to see him fix his suit. So realistically, he's just being Spider-Man at this point. Has to live with the consequences and whatnot, too. Yeah, Majestics is not, honestly, like, he's cool, don't get me wrong, but he's not the most reliable. He's just not. Toby and Deadpool in what? Not in Spider-Man. And then this is something we need to talk about. So Alex from Cosmic Circus said this. He said the most important ones are these ones, right? He said Avengers 2012. He says the ones with the stars too. The ones with the stars are the most important, and the rest are just character nods, origins, or where we last see characters in action. He goes on to say Avengers 2012, Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, Endgame obviously has a star. I mean, that clearly is going to be one of the most important ones. It's the continuation. WandaVision has a star. Loki season 1 and 2 has a star, which Loki season 1 makes sense. WandaVision, I mean, obviously that means Wanda's going to play an important role. I mean, they also said that they're bringing in Wiccan and Speed along with Vision. So what if season 2 and 3, I'm assuming that's with the Peggy Carter, the Kahori, and the Storm with the Mjolnir, possibly. Shang-Chi, No Way Home has a star, obviously Toby. Doctor Strange 1 and 2 have stars. Why does 1 have a star? Number 2 has a star because of Clea, and they went to the dark dimension. Number 1, it's probably going to be the ancient one. Alex has also hinted at that. Miss Marvel, Love and Thunder, She-Hulk, Black Panther. Ant-Man 3 has a star. Obviously, Scott Lang, we've seen in the behind-the-scenes photo where he was with the Russo brothers on the filming set. He's going to be in the same suit, which means he was probably trapped, and he's probably going to tell them what happened. He's probably the Thanos is coming in this film. The Marvels, obviously, Monica has a big role. She's going to bring, have all of us get over there to essentially try to get her back with the incursion thing going on. Deadpool and Wolverine doesn't have a star. Agatha all along brings in Wiccan. Captain America 4. Thunderbolts has 2 stars. Obviously, one of the stars is the name correction, and the other one is just the star. Makes sense. They're at the start of the film. Ironheart, Fantastic Four, First Steps, star. Obviously, right where the film's going to pick up. Wonder Man, Brand New Day, Vision Quest, X2, Last Stand, Future Past. Future Past, I'm assuming, is just going to be showing some ways of, time travel and whatnot, and obviously the second Wolverine. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 through 3. Obviously, iteration. That would be your hint for Doc Ock and people, I would assume. But, Alex says no. So, I don't know. We are all entitled. Nope, Nate, you're wrong. You're wrong. I didn't like the idea of Pedro at first, but when I saw them, he just didn't do anything for me. He just didn't work. I don't know. It's just Pedro Pascal. It's like Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool. It's just Ryan Reynolds. If She-Hulk appears in any of the Avengers movies, she can basically change script and win. That's one thing that I hate about that they showed that, because then, yeah, realistically, she could just do that. And you'd be like, what? She could literally just end the movie. If you look at Daniel Cretton's filmography, he focuses on emotional, deep characters. Let's see if he does what Spider-Man. 100%. Peter Parker is going to be down in the dumps the whole movie. He's also really big at putting Brie Larson and other characters into his movies. So Captain Marvel could show up. I don't know. If he's good for Spider-Man, I don't know. He's good at Shang-Chi, and I have faith in him. And he did Wonder Man, which wasn't terrible if it wasn't a Marvel show. No, I definitely see Ancient One, maybe even if it's just like a recap kind of thing, but I feel like she's gonna play an important part, even if it's just a recapping the beginning when it shows the whole stone sequence again with Bruce Banner. Could be something like that. If Doom teams up with Strange to make Battle World, Strange has to be more powerful than Doom. Doom won't team up unless... Not necessarily. I think if Doom knows he can use you in a way, then he'll use you. You don't necessarily have to be stronger than Doom, but you have to bring something to the table for Doom. So, like, if Doom's like, oh, you don't do anything, then why is he going to use them? But if he feels that you can bring something to the table, like maybe a faster way of travel, or maybe he knows something that Doom doesn't know, something along those lines, then yes. I hope Peter has a job and watch him be working at the Daily Bugle. I better see Peter struggle with Mr. Dickovich come back. That'd be awesome. Different looking one, though. For most of cinema history, you wanted an actor to be themselves in the movies they were in. That's why you... Not me. Not me. When I go to a movie theater, I'm escaping reality. Like, I don't want to see Jenna Ortega playing Jenna Ortega. I don't want to see Sydney Sweeney playing Sydney Sweeney. I don't want to see Will Ferrell playing Will Ferrell. They all play characters and actors and roles. Like, that's what makes it fun. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, okay, so when you go to see a Henry Cavill movie, Superman, you know what I mean? But you don't go to watch Henry Cavill be Henry Cavill. Like, if that makes sense. Chad will return in Avengers Doomsday and Security Wars. Security Wars? What is that? That new movie? Yes, Benedict Cucumber. Yes, he's in both. Now I think the thing with Alex stating that we're going to find out right now with Wanda for sure is going to be crazy. But see, that doesn't mean that she's going to be in the movie. That just, he said, but rest assured, Wanda's fate will be revealed in Doomsday. I want to know if it's 616 Wanda. I don't care about the other Wandas. That's where we're at. And then, okay, so I'm a little iffy on the Magneto, New Jersey thing, because I don't know if it's actually, I don't know. I feel like it could be for something else that he was talking about too. I know this is his last probably acting thing, but at the same time, I don't know. We're getting a lot of bait and switches. When did he say that, Dark Knight? Is there any chance you can send me that on Twitter or whatever? I want to see where he said that. The no Wasp thing is obvious. I mean, Evangelili quit a long time ago. Sorry, I'm going through the rest of these. There's a couple more, like Doctor Strange will be one of the villains and whatnot, but that's something that we've known. That's not something new, really. So I'm not going to really talk about that one. Ian McKellen was bluffing. Magneto was teaming up with Charles. Why would... Hey, when it comes down to the end of the world, Magneto's done a lot worse. And also, you have to remember this. I don't see there being a villain in this film. I think it's everybody wants to survive and everybody's doing what they have to do for their world. You got to see it as that way. Alex said that Brand New Day has the vibe of the animated series and the comics he describes as the first campy Spider-Man movie, even though the Raimi movies exist. I don't know. I feel like Alex knows stuff, but doesn't know everything, if that makes sense. Oh, he said in stream. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know why he'd be analyzing the spider. I mean, we've seen the thing where he's like in the cocoon and stuff, and maybe it's like an illusion, but I don't know about the whole spider thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Arnold, Stallone, Bruce Lee, Eddie Murphy, Bruce Willis. No, no, stop, Nate. No. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Lee, Rambo, Duke, The Terminator, Rocky. You didn't go to see them. You went to see their characters. And at the same time, yes, because of their actors, but you didn't go see them to be themselves. Arnold was never fighting the Predator, and Sylvester Stallone was never boxing. But I understand what you're coming from when you say that. But that's also like back then when like movie stars were, oh my god, movie stars. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, it's not the same thing. Like it's very different nowadays. Van Damme is awesome too. Yeah. Is Doomsday bigger than Infinity War and is Secret Wars big? I don't know. It hasn't come out yet. I would assume so with the amount of risk we're taking in this film. I don't think personally, I don't think Doomsday is going to beat Endgame, and I don't know if Secret Wars will beat Endgame. Honestly, I don't think the same amount of hype is there. And people can say, "Oh, well, the teaser's got 1 billion." Yeah, 4 teasers together, not one teaser. I don't know. And you got to remember, Endgame did 500 million in 625 million in the first weekend. Just remember that. Doctor Strange ain't a villain. He does what is possible for greater good. His arc in Doomsday, yeah, but that's my thing. There, like I just said, there's no villains, and if he chooses to be a villain, he's doing it for a reason, you know. So yeah, there's no villain, but at the same time, there's been times where Strange has been a villain. It's not like out of context for Strange not to be good. Being selfish is still, you know, I mean, in a sense. Chad will return in Doomsday and Secret Wars and Chad Saga, where he will be movie starring Chad. I'm actually going to be a mutant. My powers are I can grow facial hair really fast. So, are they still eyeing Julia? I have no idea. I have no idea who Julia Butters is. From my understanding, Tombstone is the boss. So, I'm assuming that's because we couldn't use Kingpin. But I feel like there'll be a little nod to Kingpin at the end or something, showing that Gang Wars is coming up or something along those lines. Let's see. But I think that ties up the rumors. Let me see if I'm missing anything on the rumor mill. Oh, here's a tier calibration of scoopers. Hey, I made it. The first thing they say is ban my time to shine. Can we please remove Grace Randolph? My time to shine and RBK are the same person. Please put them together. Who's this one? Yeah, why isn't Apocalypse Horseman on there? He's like the best. Can we ban James Mack as a Twitter source? Can we get some toast? Can we get some toast on there? Oh, sorry. Um, where am I at? Oh my God, you guys post a lot. Let me see. Sorry, you guys went fast right here. Okay. Apparently, Fedwick. I hope that 2-part Secret Wars is real. So do I. I don't know how he fits. Maybe in the opening montage. Can Loki fight Doom practically? Yeah, that's the thing I'm wondering too. Can Loki actually get up off the chair? I don't think so. I don't think He Who Remains is a villain either. Or no, He Who Remains is definitely a villain. He Who Remains. Well, no, because he kind of just made it that he would survive. So he's not. He's selfish, but I don't know if he's a villain. You know. No, he was not doing what he thinks is right. He was keeping himself around. But he is selfish, but I don't think he's bad. We do the Living Tribunal. I don't think so. And no, they didn't necessarily were going to use him in that. They were using him as the trial for Thanos, is what Doctor Strange was going to do when he tapped his forehead. But no, Living Tribunal doesn't make any sense. He's too big. Who's number 1,000? What's up, Hayden? So the Brand New Day opening montage is basically going to be similar to, yes, but better. Damage control will become, okay. Bruce, could you imagine Bruce Campbell being the Beyonder? Could you imagine Bruce Campbell's been running it all? Are we going? I was originally told we were getting on Super Bowl, and they're dumb if they don't capitalize on Super Bowl. That would be the dumbest thing ever. Or if they just put out a small teaser, like it'd be dumb. Jeff Snyder said his sources told him we're in for a treat. Yeah, there's definitely something. They're not going to not. Who do you think is going to? A lot of people. I don't just everybody essentially. It doesn't make sense to keep anybody. He Remain is a villain. Remember, Loki season 2 was retooled last minute. No. Loki season 2 was not retooled. Loki season 2 had no reshoots. The only thing they kept out was the multiversal war, but I wouldn't consider him a villain. I would consider his variants a villain because he stated that, but like I wouldn't consider him a villain. I would consider him very selfish though. No, he will not have a Captain America suit. He'll have more of a nomad looking suit. How is Loki final boss if Loki can't get off the final chair? Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to. Something's in my eye. Something's in my eye. Here, I'm gonna throw a video up real quick because I gotta go check the dog real quick. For some reason, the dog's barking. I'll be right back. Bah! We're back. We're back. We're back. I promise. I wouldn't say he's a coward, Nate. If you could control everything and stop people too, wouldn't you? You're gonna make the world explode because they want to be selfish. I think post Secret Wars, a break would benefit the MCU for what's bigger, a bigger question. See, the thing is this: money doesn't work that way, and that'll never happen. They would never take a break, never. They, I can't. We've seen the thing for it for his suit. How not that stupid yellow cape one. Because the Fantastic Four montage sucked. I guess what I'm saying is that I can see why he does what he does, and selfish, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Loki season 2 was great. I don't think it was better than season 1, but it was good. Loki season was retooled. That was reported on Deadline and Snyder. Remember, Kang was supposed to be the foil. Yeah, but it wasn't retooled. It wasn't reshot. Nothing about it was reshot. Loki was not reshot. Agatha was retooled and others were retooled. So let's fix the claim real quick. The dog's name is Luna. It's my wife's. It's a Chihuahua. I can seriously still hear her. Okay, I'm gonna go. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do another 30. Sorry, real quick. Okay, sorry, we're back. Dude, I don't know. She just kept barking. Sorry. What's up? Send link to what? Comics? What do you think about big three in upcoming movies like Tony, Steven, Thor, or an Infinity War and Endgame? What you think? Who will be the big three in the upcoming movies? No, it's not gonna be them. It'll be like because they're doing Mutant Saga. It's probably gonna be like 3. It'll probably be Cyclops, Jean. If they were smart, they'd make it Magneto and Charles, but it's probably gonna be something like Nova, Cyclops, Sam. They're probably going to change it up because you got to do Nova's obviously doing a lot of the space stuff. And then you got the mutants, which obviously Cyclops, and then probably Sam for the Avengers. But I think they're going lower on the Avengers. Kang as a villain was amazing, separating the art from dude. Jonathan Majors is a great actor. I don't care what anybody says. I will stand on that hill. That's fine. You know, people don't have to like him. That's fine. Miss Marvel is so being in Jersey. Is Steve Rogers going? Is Steve Rogers going to wear normal clothes as Nomad? Yes, yes. Black tank top shirt. Sorry, Nate. The dog, man. Because Fantastic Four just wasn't a good film. It was fun, but it wasn't a good film. Those first 30 minutes were terrible. After that, once they like fight the Silver Surfer and you know they're in the ship, that's when it's great. But it's definitely not as good as people say it is. I'm sorry, it's just not. Harry Potter. What do you mean Harry Potter? That literally sounded like me. I was like, Luna, go inside, because she's like barking outside. The Doom light show, if you pause it for a split second, you can see the lower part of Doom's armor is clearly iron. Yeah, they said that. Wait, what do you mean? It's definitely not Iron Man's armor. If you're talking about it's practical, then yeah, it's practical, but it's not his armor. Oh, sorry, Steven. I'm like, what are you talking about? Miss Marvel isn't in. She is in Jersey. Is she not in Jersey? Yeah, she's literally in New Jersey, Jersey City. I was like, I know that's right. Oh, you are right about the recruiting, but that's not to say that. Oh, she could be in New York. She could. I don't think she's really recruiting anymore. I think she just went to Cassie and Kate because Scott Lang's supposed to be the gum that's supposed to tie them together. I don't think Doomsday is going to be the best comic book movie. I'm going to be honest with you. The X-Men IP is already bigger than the Avengers IP, technically. No problem, Subhan Khan official. No problem. Uh, not Savage Hulk. Apparently, it's Gray Hulk. So I hope they do the Joe Fixit persona, but I doubt they will. I don't think they're going to balance. I think Avengers is going to take a seat back, honestly. I know it's so lame. Like they go and they boycott people, but then they don't realize that half the other actors have the same kind of like issues and whatnot and have been told certain things. It's not like he's the only person. It's not like Jeremy Renner has been in the news multiple times. It's not like Josh Brolin was in the news. You know, I don't know. People are just so quick to be like, up, up, you know. Oh my god! Sometimes you guys type so much. I'm like, what? I really hope we get Olivia Holt Dagger and Aubrey Joseph Cloak return. I mean, they could return. It was kind of teased in Wonder Man. Will Iron Man appear in Avengers Doomsday? He will appear in there. Apparently, from my understanding, there are two sets of him. One of them is the Avengers One Armor one, which I'm assuming it's the one from the 2012 that we saw, but we don't know. I don't know, James. Like, I want to say it's going to be great, but I feel like they're just overdoing everything at this point. I feel like if you're just going to continuously go the same way, it's going to get boring. I think they need to get to the point where they're just telling certain comic book stories and not so much as like a connected universe as much. That's just my 2 cents. The leaked mood board. If they were smart, they'd get away from MCU shows and they would just make 3 movies a year. They would completely stop with the shows. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's just a waste. I don't think Hawkeye's in anything after season 2. Apparently, he's supposed to get offed. So yeah, that'd be crazy, honestly, Nate. Or like a Jane Foster variant. No, I didn't get the Doom shirt. I'm not gonna bother. I picked up this really cool shirt from Disney though. It's a I think it's a Miles button down shirt. I think it was Miles, or was it Spider Man, or was it Peter? I can't remember. No, I don't think Miles will be in Secret Wars. I mean, he could be. It depends on if Beyond the Spider Verse actually comes out. I think the 1 hour specials would be doing better if you did one like Halloween and you did one around Christmas time. I think that would work. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. The Midnight Suns doing Blade and Werewolf by Night and all them. Yeah, that's true. Nerdy stuff galore. Yes, Spider-Man will. I'm assuming. I don't know if he'll quip. Honestly, he might be a lot darker because they said he's a lot darker and he's kind of like losing his personality. So maybe not. Yeah, the Disney shows suck. They just suck. They should all be movies. That's just me. I'm also more hyped for a brand new day. I'm more hyped for Spider-Man usually than I am for Avengers. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but like at least with Spider-Man, I'm guaranteed I'm gonna love it. Talk about the weakest. Is Ana de Armas portraying the side? I don't know. I think that's such a lie. I don't think Ana de Armas is in it at all. If she is, she's going to be like a black swan. I don't know why she'd be a Psylocke. Do you think Doctor Doom is the variant of time? Do you think Doctor Doom is the variant of time Tony Stark? No, I think Tony Stark is a variant of Doom. I think they've always been Doctor Doom. I don't think the Tony Stark thing is real because then it gives you the ability to recast, quote unquote, recast Tony Stark without any problems without comparing to Robert Downey Jr. Alex said he is quipping, but more like like not as much like trying to be funny like when you watch Homecoming, more of like a dark kind of thing. So I don't think there'll be as much, but he could. It'll probably be in the montage, but I don't see him doing it too much like around the Punisher and around the Hulk and around other characters like that. I hope that God Sabrina Carpenter is not in anything. I really hope she's not in anything. She-Hulk and Moon Knight would have benefited from a 1 hour special. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier, except that last episode did not land. And as for Moon Knight, I think if it would have had better CGI and looked better, it would have been a good film or a show. But yeah, it would have definitely been better as a special. Jackie Chan stunt. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think they're gonna do some crazy stuff. I remember them talking about like the building explosion and stuff like that. Anything with Jackie Chan is golden. I mean, he's great. The problem with the MCU shows is they never stick the landing. Usually their beginnings are kind of so the start of the MCU show is either or great, and then the ending is either or great. So it's never usually both, but it's one or the other. Would you recast Iron Man as Iron Lad? What do you mean recast him? One's Kang and one's Tony Stark. What do you mean? What comic book covers will be recreated in Brand New Day? I don't know. I haven't seen a poster yet. I'm assuming the original one where he's like with the leg up and with the web coming up. Is she one of the mass followers of Doctor Doom, the purple cloak and gold mask one? As who are you talking about? Ana de Armas, or who are you talking about? They should have used the kid from Iron Man, Harley, and his daughter in Endgame over Ironheart. Yeah, I mean they should really use direct connections in all these characters, but just explain like all the ones that are there. They're all variants, just like how Doom's a variant. That'd be cool. Ian McKellen praises Robert Downey Jr. He's got a great talent. Well, duh. um, well, the thing is with the Ultimate Universe, Alex, they stated the MCU is equivalent to the Ultimate Universe originally. I don't think Sylvie's one of his followers. I think Sylvie's doing what she must to help get Loki off the throne. I think Doom is manipulating her because Sylvie wouldn't just go work with Doom. That's just my opinion, though. When the universe reboot, instead of Tony Stark being an Iron Man, it will be a younger King as Iron. No, I don't think so. I don't think the Iron Lad way would work. Deadpool is in Doomsday, just so we're clear. I'm so bad with the names. Oh, that's the Psylocke. I'm talking about Ana de Armas. I don't think she's Psylocke. She's not going to be Psylocke. I promise you. She will not be Psylocke. Will Peter still be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in Brand New Day and interact with the civilians? Like, no. No. Ian McCullen is rumored to return to Psylocke. Yeah. I think once Doctor Strange 2 didn't address Mordo's post-credit ending in Doctor Strange 1, I knew we were going down the wrong path. I liked Multiverse of Madness, personally. I think Multiverse of Madness was a great film, but to each their own. I know a lot of people don't like it. I hope we see the Spider-Man. I don't know. I 100% don't think we will, because the thing is, Sony is really known for not putting things at the Super Bowl, but they do a lot of things during like basketball games or Monday Night Football or stuff like that. So we'll see. Mobius. I almost thought that said Morbius. I haven't heard anything about Mobius. I know B-15 and probably Obi, but I didn't hear anything about Mobius. How would you start off the next saga? What do you mean? Like how so, James? Like give me characters. No problem, Subhan. What do I mean? No, what Dark Knight? What am I answering? Are you talking about Mobius? Mobius went home. Remember, Mobius left the TVA. Dude, Deadpool and Wolverine was not a good film. I was so hyped, and it was such a letdown. That was such a bad movie. I'm sorry. That's a terrible movie. They're gonna show Sylvia on screen, and no one is gonna know who she is. Yeah, but the thing is, Loki had a lot of viewers. That's the only reason why I think that that could possibly be a thing. But I understand where you're coming from. A lot of people are going to be like, "Who is this?" So that is where they're kind of fumbling. That's why I'm saying, like, we don't need the TV shows. We don't. I don't think he'll interact with civilians. I don't think he's going to be doing things like we think. I don't think it's going to be the same kind of Spider-Man as it's been. Am I tripping? Did you just say Ben Foster? Oh, uh, I thought you were talking about Goliath. I'm like, that's not Ben Foster. That's what's his name. That's what James Mack has said. So if I was to reboot the MCU and start off where I feel it's necessary, I would have Civil War 2. I would start it off where like the X-Men are these characters that are like helping people out and whatnot, but the crowd and the audience are very towards them. And then I would have like, Professor X wanting to come talk to people and whatnot, kind of like how they did in Civil War, where like something happens. But I wouldn't do like the Crossbones blow up thing. Like I would make it more like they're willing to come talk, and then someone tries to off one of them, and then they off them, kind of like how Hawkeye takes out Bruce Banner, and then it's like a whole hell breaks loose kind of thing. Something along those lines. Get rid of a big character. I don't know if she's Jean Grey. I think she should be Rachel Summers because Department of Damage Control has worked with her before, and you'd have her coming from the future and stuff like that, and you would tie in because I wouldn't necessarily like to have. First of all, I don't like Sadie Sink, and second of all, I don't think she works as Jean Grey. I think that's another Sophie Turner, oh no, bad news kind of thing. But to each their own. What's up, Michael? We're just talking. We talked about a lot of rumors, and now we're just kind of going down the comment line and thinking what talking. Why don't you like Iron Man coming back? It's the multiverse. I see what you're saying, King. That makes sense. I really like Agatha, but I get it. I get it. It's not going to be for everybody. I totally understand that. Some people won't like it. Stop simping, Nate. We're talking shop here, bro. Shop. We saw the set leaks. He's interacting with the police, the firefighters, and saving a child, even in the leak trailer. We saw him with the. See, once again, I think that's just going to be the montage. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be the whole film. What's up, Kendall the Yapper? How you doing? No, I don't. I don't hate everything. I like a lot of things. I just think some things are dumb, and that's just my opinion. But then again, I feel like I'm one of the few people that doesn't just eat everything the MCU gives them. Like a lot of people, you just give them something, they're like, no matter how bad it is. But it's kind of the truth. Kind of the truth. MCU post Secret Wars should be like X-Men led by Xavier and Magneto, Avengers led by New Cap recasted, and Midnight Suns led by Strange. Yeah, that'd be cool. And like what they should do is they should alter whose films. So it shouldn't just be like every film in a row. It should be like a Midnight Suns, an Avenger, and an X-Men, a Midnight Sun, a Nova, and blah, blah. And then I would love a villain movie. Like, let's do a villain movie. Like, you know how cool it would have been if Thanos had his own story Maybe like how he won all the wars and then like obviously meeting Gamora and all that kind of stuff. But you know how cool that would have been? Hulk? I don't know. Hulk's in the trash can. I don't know what you do with Hulk. Like, I don't know. That's a hard one. Because I like the Hulk, but I don't think he's good in the MCU at all. If I had to, where'd that question go? If I had to cast Squirrel Girl, I would do the girl, the AT&T girl. She does the voice and she likes the role. So, but Squirrel Girl's so OP. How are you gonna do Squirrel Girl? Jumping in too quick for. Nah, hear me out. You go straight into Civil War 2 because you make them hated right off the bat. Then that way we have to learn to love them. I don't want to have it all developed. Not everything has to be super developed. Like imagine if like you just get them and you start off and everybody's like, ugh. And then like as the film goes on, you really work their story and people love them. And then they turn against the Avengers. That's what I want. But no Eternals. Let's not bring in the Eternals. The real Tony Stark after the reboot. That's what I'm saying. Like have Robert Downey Jr. have never been Tony Stark. There was a video of that during the Glaslov leaks. Mephisto movie is something I won't deny. Yeah, Mephisto movie would be pretty cool. Show him work with Cynthia Von Doom and trick her and take her soul. So from my understanding, Damson Idris is appearing in Secret Wars. I don't know about Doomsday. I was not told about Doomsday. From my understanding, it's not till they get onto the world. Yeah, no, definitely have the heroes in the movie, Kendall, but like have the villain be front and center. Like Thanos, to me, Thanos would have been better if he didn't feel like he was like, I'm doing everything good. Like I want him just evil. That's why I like comic book Thanos, though. I hope we don't get a Kingpin movie. To me, Kingpin's like one of the lamest characters. Like, give me like I'd like a Carnage movie. Make it a rated R, dark, gritty Carnage movie. Is there a reason why Tom Hiddleston said for reasons I cannot disclose while choosing his favorites? Probably. It's probably because he works with him in the TVA, I'm assuming. Do you think King Ruined Thor will appear? Oh, Ruined King Thor? I mean, he's going to get a buff. Let's be real. He'll probably get a buff, but I don't think it's going to be Ruined King. That's too OP. Lily as Squirrel Girl. Yes, exactly. Would you make Cyclops the leader of the next? Yes, for sure. Cyclops is a great character when done right, which is very rare. We know She-Hulk will be the new Hulk next. Oh. All right, kiddos. Y'all behave. Have a good one, man. It doesn't need to be developed, but it needs to be explained for the audience to buy it. It can be good. See, the thing is, it doesn't need to, though. That's what I'm telling you. Like, if you describe it in the movie, then that's fine. We don't need to go through Genosha and everything else. You can have these characters that a lot of people watch growing up, and then you can actually build them upon that in that story. Like, think about Thanos. Thanos was never built up before Infinity War. And Doom's going to be the same way. So I think it works. I think so. For me. I don't know about the T'Challa Jr. From my understanding, it's T'Challa, but I can't guarantee that right now. My person usually reaches out a little bit later. Like, not today, I'm saying, but like in the long run, he gives me information and whatnot. I hope you're wrong and he meets Shuri. He's not going to meet Shuri in Doomsday. I promise you. Right? Like Doom building up a time runs out kind of thing. That'd be so awesome. I like his suit. I don't know. I've never really been a huge fan of Tom Holland's suits, but I don't like Andrew Garfield's suits either. So, who would you want to recast to play She-Hulk? I don't know. That's a good question. Will Doom have something related to what Strange saw in future? No, I don't think so. Because if you go back and watch Loki, they mentioned that he couldn't see. They hint to that he who no, they actually say it. He who remains only allows you to see what he gives you. Like he made the path, you just walk down it. So I don't think they saw past that. I think that's just a theory kind of thing, but it would be cool. Is Steve Rogers going to be part of the multiverse? I don't know. So, from my understanding, Steve Rogers is going to be like the flashbacks and we're learning about it. But now it seems like the more and more that information comes out, Steve Rogers is a pivotal role. So, I'm assuming he will be part of the multiversal Avengers. He'll probably be the one leading them, to be honest. No, see, that's not the same thing. Once again, you're saying from a TV show, I'm saying from a movie. I said we don't need TV shows. I think TV shows are stupid. So no, I don't think it's the same thing. I don't think it's the same thing at all. What villains are in the opening? It's Boomerang. Is his name Ramrod is X-Men, I believe, right? Let me see. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, it's Ramrod, Boomerang. I believe Scorpion's in there. Oh no, the Scorpion's in prison. There was like 5 or 6 villains. I'd have to go back and look on my my receipt thing, but there's like 5 or 6 villains that they were talking about. But yeah. Time's at 10:46. Okay, guys, though, I'm gonna run right now, but I appreciate y'all coming by and saying hi and joining into the live. I will do this more often. I actually really liked it. Yeah, Tarantula. There we go. And is that 3-way fight from Doomers? That's what James Max said. So I'm just quoting him on that. I have it saved. If he's wrong, then he's gonna hear it from me. If he's right, then good on him. But I gotta run right now, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good Sunday.